What's up, everybody? It's Damp. As promised, I told you guys I'd be coming out with some new content as far as boss tutorials for Darkest Dungeon. I apologize, it's been a few weeks, but I was waiting for an update, and since that update hasn't come, I decided just to go ahead and do it. So this video is as of, we'll just say early May 2015, still in early access. So some of these strategies may change. But this is going to be the Necromancer Apprentice. This is who we're going to be fighting, and here's the class setup I'd recommend if you're kind of new or you know, you're kind of struggling with some of the boss fights or the content early in the game, because it does tend to have a pretty difficult learning curve. So here's what we've got. I brought two Hellions. I brought a Bounty Hunter and obviously the Vestal. Your Vestal, you should be bringing the Vestal with Judgment. So please make sure to click that on. That's a very, very important skill early in the fight. Also, you notice my people are fully healed. I camped here, this room right before the boss. I'd recommend waiting as long as you can to camp before the boss. Also, there was a fight here that I cleared, and then I went back and camped. So that's another tip, that make sure you clear the whole room as much as you can. You know, if there's a trap there, either step in it or disarm it and then go back and camp. From there, you guys can see I'm already sitting on 15 food. I recommend bring more food than you think you need. That way your people can go into the fight fully healed. Another thing, my skills are upgraded to the highest level they can be, the ones I'm going to use, which will be Iron Swan, Wicked Hack, and If It Bleeds. We may not even utilize Iron Swan. Same thing here, Wicked Hack and If It Bleeds. These are as high as he can have them currently. Same thing, the Bounty Hunter is going to be using Collect Bounty and Mark for Death. And he may use Finish Him, but I didn't bother upgrading that just from a cost-saving standpoint, but I'd recommend you guys should. I didn't have my Blacksmith upgraded, but if you do, definitely upgrade your weapons and your armor as well. Same thing for the Vestal. She's got her stuff upgraded to level 2. Actually, going back and looking at it, looks like I missed this. This should be If It Bleeds 2 and Wicked Hack 2. So I missed that one. My bad. Anyway, for the buffs you're going to take before the fight, you're going to take Sharpened Spear for sure, and Battle Trance on both your Hellions. And then you're going to use your Bounty Hunter to use This Is How We Do It right here on one of your two Hellions. I used it on the one that I had that was a little higher level. Whoever you're going to stack your best trinkets on that you have at the time, that's what I'd recommend using. Your other option is you could stack, the Vestal has Bless. You could utilize that for the extra dodge buff, but you're going to have to make some sacrifices or make some decisions whether you want to take the extra dodge or the extra damage or crit. I'm sorry, the extra accuracy or crit that This Is How We Do It offers. I'd say you're going to take This Is How We Do It 9 times out of 10. Another thing to remember is in the Necromancer you can bring some Crusaders. I didn't this time because this is what I typically recommend, but a Crusader pairs really well with a Vestal because it can utilize the Pray spell, and that reduces your stress on your Crusaders because they are religious. The Leper's the other one that's religious that you could bring, and they would benefit from that. So that's just, you know, something to consider. Chance also really good if you do bring Crusaders or Lepers. I just didn't, so I didn't use them this time. So the idea behind this fight, as you guys will see, is the Necro is going to spawn some ads in front of him, and your options are you can either DPS down the ads, you can do that, or you can straight DPS the boss. It's going to depend on your engagement and some of the RNG, but you can do either of the two. With this party composition, make sure that you are eliminating at least one of the skellies that he spawns. One, those skellies can crit and do some serious damage, and two, you need to make sure your Bounty Hunter can collect the bounty, because he's going to need to utilize that skill. So at least get rid of one in the front. With that, here we go. I'm going to go into the fight and give you guys some ideas on what the fight looks like. So the Necro is Unholy and an Eldritch, but if you look at him, his bleed resist is really, really, really low. So because it's only 25%, with your Hellions, you're going to be using If It Bleeds to stack that. Your first turn with your bounty hunter, we're going to mark the Necro, because that's who we want to DPS. Okay? So with your Hellions, let's see, we're already in our first turn here. We're going to stack if it bleeds. He resisted. So your Vestal, nobody needs heals really right now. So let's go ahead and judge. Use Judgment. And it's only going to be a little bit of DPS, but on this boss, pretty much all you want to do as much DPS as you can to him early in the fight. Alright, so we did get one bleed on him. He continues to stress the party. That's the idea behind making this fight a little more difficult, is the Necro will really stress you out early on in the fight most of the time. So since we have the ability to do if it bleeds, we can do that now. But remember I said you want to make sure to wipe out one of these guys. So we're going to go ahead and hack through them, just to give our bounty hunter the chance. See, now we have a bounty hunter that can't use collect bounty because it's in the third row. So we're going to just use him to DPS the boss, and we'll use the other Hellion to take care of the slash. Like I said, that graveyard slash can do a lot of damage. If he wouldn't have crit right there, I would say go ahead and use Judgment again on the boss, but he did. So we're going to heal. And we're going to hack through this last guy to bring him back forward. Now, ideally, your Hellions are going to be able to do enough damage to one-shot the skeletons. If they don't, it hurts you from an ability of, you know, really being able to manage the crowd. I should say, manage the ads that he's going to spawn. So, same thing. He's probably not going to be able to beat him down, so let's DPS the boss instead. His, or hers rather, her DPS wouldn't have been strong enough to one-shot one of those skellies. So we still can't collect our bounty. And bounty hunter miss. Pretty good RNG there. Right, so same concept. We don't want to be that far behind from a health standpoint and be chasing ourselves in case one of these guys gets crit. He's got 47 health left. So at this point, what we're going to do is DPS with her. We were lucky to get a crit. We also got a bleed. So he's got basically one turn left, as long as we can manage the ads next turn fairly well and at least get one of them down. Because we can utilize her Iron Swan to hit him once he's in the fourth row. If we even need to. So DPS down the boss again. He's going to take 6 damage. Alright, so we'll just play it safe and heal. That Judgment would not have been enough to kill him in one shot. Alright, so back row. Necro's in the back row. He has 8 health. We're going to Iron Swan him, and that's why we brought it, to get the kill. Now we just manage down these like it's a regular fight. So at this point, the fight becomes pretty manageable. As long as you don't get really bad RNG with multiple crits on one person, you should be okay. This fight can be sloppy. There's a couple ways you can play it, and it really just depends on what party composition you're bringing. But the same mechanics to the fight are going to apply. He's gonna spawn ads. You want to make sure to manage the ads to the best of your ability. And if you can't manage the ads to get your bounty hunter there, just straight DPS the boss like I did there. Again, make sure you bring more food than you think you need. And make sure you camp as late as you can in the instance. Also with boss fights, guys, I mean, let me just grab this stuff and I'll show you. With boss fights, if you come in here, odds are the boss is going to be exact opposite of where you spawned in. Just FYI, currently at least in the game, that's how it works. So it should help you from a planning perspective. Occasionally it won't be there, and maybe it would be here or here, but most of the time the boss is going to be exact opposite of where you are. So that should help you from a planning perspective when you walk in, and how to manage your resources and your health and your food and stuff. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll be doing the Swine Prince next. Later.